The big money. Yeah, I was in the big money. An hour and a half ago, I had $7 million. I had a wife, too. Slender, dark-haired, green eyes, and she pretty. But she's gone now. She left me 1 hour and 30 minutes ago. No, 1 hour, 31 minutes, and 20 seconds ago. She took the money with her. That's not all she took. She took my life. I wish she'd come back. I want my life back. I don't care about the money. She could keep that. After all, it only took me a month to earn it. That's right, 1 month. 30 days to earn $7 million. What's the trick? You have to be born for it. Born for the big money. And I was. I always do it. Far back as I can remember, even back in prison, even back before that in military hospitals while the docs patched up my face and tried to patch up my memory. I knew I was born for the big money. That's why I wasn't downhearted when they let me out of the big house with the usual 5-spot and a ticket to the city and no prospects. The warden tried to give me a pep talk, but I put him in his place fast, believe you me.
The prison psychiatrist says you only have a partial memory of your military service and no memory at all of the period before that.
That's right. I remember coming to in a hospital and being told a shell burst had knocked me out and cut up my face. That's as far back as it goes.
We've checked your Army career. You're a troublemaker.
So what, Warden?
You were dishonorably discharged. But still it might be possible to get medical treatment for your condition. Now, if you want me to contact the proper authorities...
Skip it. Suppose I could remember everything that happened to me. I don't want to. Growing up in a slum, being kicked around, who wants to remember that kind of stuff?
But your parents, your family, don't you want to find them again?
They probably forgot me years ago. Take the average guy with a memory. Can't concentrate. I relaxed and sat back, feeling good. Very good. Across the aisle, a girl was reading a magazine. A knockout. Pretty soon she saw me watching her, but she was smooth. She didn't even seem to look at me while she gave me a long, steady once-over. She was interested, I knew that. She turned to a short, plump, white-haired man beside her and whispered. The white hair gave me a long look, too. Then he got up and came across, smooth as butter.
I beg your pardon. I have the feeling we're acquainted, but I can't quite bring your name to mind.
My name's George Cook, if that's any help.
Cook. No, I'm afraid I've mistaken you for someone else. Yes, of course. You remind me strongly of my old friend, Howard Vincent.
Never heard of him.
The likeness is striking. But my apologies. I didn't mean to intrude upon you.
Oh, you're not intruding.
Davenport is my name. Philo Davenport.
Mr. Davenport?
Perhaps you care to join me and my niece for a drink, Mr. Cook.
By going away from prison soon. And I knew they were sharpshooters with some deep game on their mind. By and by, Marlene came to the point I knew they were interested in.
You're very witty, Mr. Cook. What line of business are you in? Traveling salesman?
Now, my dear, you mustn't ask personal questions.
I don't mind, Mr. Davenport. The truth is, I'm a free traveler.
A free traveler? What's that?
Well, you see, they set me free this afternoon, and now I'm traveling.
Very good, Mr. Cook. Very good. Such frankness is refreshing.
And what business are you in, Mr. Davenport?
Well, I'm part lawyer and part detective. I trace heirs to unclaimed fortunes.
Interesting business. You ever find them?
Frequently. In fact, much oftener than I have any right to expect.
Oh, now, Uncle Philo, you mustn't boast.
Of course not, my dear.
125th Street. Next stop, 125th Street.
Well, this seems to be our stop, Mr. Cook. Where are you staying in town?
I haven't quite made up my mind. I thought I'd look around a bit first.
See, Marlene and I would like to have you come call on us tomorrow or the next day. Wouldn't we, my dear?
Oh, we'd love it if you would.
And in that case, I will.
Fine, George. Here's my card. Don't fail us now.
Began with the drawers of a mahogany desk. I was just getting going when the overhead light snapped on, and Philo's voice said,
Good morning, George. So nice of you to come see us so soon.
There was Philo in a dinner jacket, and Marlene wearing a gown that started at the floor and stopped unexpectedly.
Now, Uncle Philo, don't make George think he isn't welcome. Put away that gun. Offer him a drink.
Of course, my dear.
I was just looking around the room while I waited for you.
Admirable. Marlene, he's our man.
I know he is. Congratulations, George. I'll get the brandy, Uncle Philo.
You know, George, I made a bet with Marlene. You'd show up tonight.
Philo, I underestimated you. You were waiting for me.
Yes, we were waiting for you. Since we left you on the train, I've checked your entire career. Your Army record, your being wounded, your prison sentence for robbery after your discharge. On the train, Marlene and I were startled at your resemblance to a certain Howard Vincent.
Yeah, you mentioned him before. Who is he?
I'll come to that in a moment. I said that my business is finding missing heirs who have fortunes.
$7 million.
Not a few odd thousand.
Here's the brandy, Mr.
Oh,
Philo.
thank you, my dear. Thank you. You want to?
Aye.
Now I propose a toast to Howard Vincent, formerly George Cook.
This was it. What I'd always known would happen someday. The break. The big money. $7 million. $7 million just waiting for me to reach out and grab it. The three of us sat up most of the night while Philo outlined the deal.
Easy, George. You're perfect for the part of Howard Vincent. You look enough like him so that we can claim it's the scars from your wound that keep the resemblance from being exact.
I think they rather improve your look, George. I wouldn't want you to look too much like him. In his photograph, he's rather vicious looking.
No, thanks, Marlene.
Your loss of early memory is also very fortunate. Ordinarily, we would have to fake it.
Can't remember about it. What then?
They won't. You see, I am in charge of the search for Vincent.
You?
Oh, dear.
How come, Philo?
Howard Vincent was a typical rich man's son. Too much money, too much freedom. You know the story, sir?
Sure, I've read it a dozen times.
Since back in 1941, he got mixed up in something really nasty, disappeared. Then the family got word he'd been killed in the wreck of the Western Flyer in Wyoming. You remember 30 days. Oh, I forgot. You don't remember.
I'll look it up in the papers. Go on.
Uncle Philo flew out and found that a watch and a wallet belonging to Vincent had been recovered from the wreckage. There were also 3 bodies, any one of which might be Vincent.
I get the picture.
But I recognize one of the 3 as poor dear Howard Vincent all the same. However, I was already foreseeing, shall we say, future possibilities.
Philo, now I know you're not
Well, I came back to report I hadn't been able to identify any of the dead as Howard. He might still be alive. So his father kept on hoping. When the old man died in 1945, he left his money to his son, provided Howard could be found within 7 years.
And now at last you found him.
No, my dear. Not for several weeks yet. You see, we have careful preparations to make.
be dreadful if we made a mistake.
How completely right you are, Mr. Eagles. But I think I have the evidence that will settle our doubts for good and all.
Why, it's a college history book. One of the books Howard used at Yale.
Yesterday I had an inspiration. I searched all of Howard's old books, and at last I found what I hoped for. See, here on page 98.
Yes. The faded fingerprint he needs on the margin.
Made one night 10 years ago. Was this the only fingerprint of his we've ever received?
Oh, dear. Why, this will tell us beyond question whether this young man is Howard or not.
Yes, we only have to compare his fingerprints with this print Howard made 10 years ago. And we'll know. Well, George, are you willing to make the test?
Certainly I am. If I'm not Howard Vincent, I want to know it. If I am, I want to join it. Well, Philo made a print of my index finger, and little Mr. Beetle squinted at it. Then at the print in the history book. He spent at least 5 minutes doing it.
Uncle Philo, I want to powder my nose first. I'll be right back.
No hard feelings, I hope, George. It's only good business, you know, to take precautions.
Of course, there's no hard feeling. Here, let me ring for the elevator for you. You might as well ride down in my private car. Funny. I push the button, but I don't hear the car coming.
Perhaps it's already at this floor. Try the door.
All right, I will. Well, how do you like that? The door opens, but the elevator isn't here. The shaft is empty.
Well, there's something wrong with the mechanism. The door shouldn't open at the side. George, what are you doing? What are you grabbing me for? Let go of me, George! No! No!
I closed the elevator door and stood there trying to act calm, but the perspiration was puffing out on my brow. They'd find Philo in a moment. Was it Marlene ever coming back? Then she came.
Well, here I am. But George, where's Uncle Philo?
Yeah, he's in the elevator. I'm going down with you.
Tell me
In the elevator?
again.
The door seems to be stuck. Give me a hand, Marlene.
No, thank you, George. I'd rather not.
But Marlene...
Stay right there, George. Don't come any closer. You see, darling, I have a nice ladylike gun in my purse.
Marlene, what is it? A gag?
No, I didn't powder my nose, George. I found I'd forgotten my compact, and I came back. I was outside the door when I heard you talking about the elevator, and then Uncle Philo screamed.
Call the cops.
I could. But what good would that do either?
I don't get you.
Uncle Philo is dead. I can't help him. But you're not dead. And I can't help you.
What are you leading up to, Marty?
I know you murdered Uncle Philo. But you'd be safe. And I couldn't testify against you. If you married me, George.